Good evening to all of you who have joined. Here we start with the sixth webinar of the series of CMCL-FAIMER alumni. Let me introduce Rashmi Vyas, who is the lead faculty. Rashmi is Assistant Vice President, FAIMER Education, and Director, FAIMER Institute, Philadelphia. And we also have with us Dr. Monika Sharma with us. She is Vice Principal Research, Christian Medical College, Ludhiana. So I now hand over to Rashmi.
Thank you, Dinesh and Monika. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all of you. So wonderful to be here discussing with you all, though of course the context is far from wonderful. The context is challenging, but it has given us an opportunity to come together at this platform. And congratulations to CMCL-FRI team, Dinesh, Monika, and all the team for taking this initiative to offer a series of webinars, which is much needed in today's context. So as Dinesh said, this is the sixth webinar for the series from CMCL-FRI Alumni. And this one is on online faculty development programs, focusing on the opportunities and challenges in the COVID epoch. Before I actually go on with this webinar, I just want to clarify the terminology. In today's webinar, when we are using the term online faculty development, it is for faculty, as the word suggests, who are required to teach online in the COVID-19 epoch. So the focus would be on one type of faculty development, which is teaching online, and the focus will be on faculty educators. The goals of today's next hour or so of webinar is I will very briefly provide the context, which all of you are already aware of, facing and experiencing. Explain the roles of faculty as described by Hardin. And I will provide an example of academic adaptation, which all of us have to do in switching to online teaching. And that example will be from the FAIMER program, the Foundation for Advancement of International Medical Education Research, for those who are not familiar with it. FAIMER Philadelphia Institute is the one which I'll be sharing the example from. Then we will talk something about the components of successful online faculty development and strategies for successful online education. Both go hand in hand. And then we'll all together discuss the opportunities and challenges for online faculty development. So let me move on. Just to recap and remind us of what is faculty development and why we are doing it. So the faculty development programs are designed to prepare and renew faculty for their multiple roles. This I have taken from this article by Steinert. All those who are in faculty development, Yvonne Steinert's name is synonymous with research in faculty development. I would encourage all of you to look up Yvonne Steinert's articles, and if you don't find it, reach out to Dinesh and Monika and we can help you get those articles. But if you are into faculty development, you cannot do it without having read Steinert's articles. There are a series of articles, different ones. The second is faculty development serves as a major quality assurance factor for colleges and universities and should be viewed as more of a necessity than a luxury. And that's why we are doing it. That's why you and we are here today. I have taken this saying from, I've given the link, but this is Faculty Focus. It's like a newsletter which comes out. It is free. And it has very, very useful information related to faculty and faculty development. I would encourage you also to look up Faculty Focus, and if you can subscribe to it and get information right in your inbox. So let's take a quick look, in the past. Now, that was a past. The faculty development profile before the COVID epoch. So there were different programs that were offered. FAIMER is one of them. We have 4 FAIMER regional institutes in India: CMCL FAIMER Regional Institute, GSMC FAIMER Regional Institute, PSG Coimbatore Regional Institute, and in Manipal Regional Institute. And then the Medical Council of India courses in medical education, the basic course and the advanced courses through the nodal centers and the regional centers, as well as the other around communication skills, ATCOM and other courses that are coming in. While the FAMER and the MCI courses are focused around for educators, faculty educators, then there are faculty development programs in specific specialties. So you have something in laparoscopic surgery and so on. So that is the clinical skills specialty and different maybe other kinds of faculty development. So the focus for all these faculty development programs were around education, some on leadership. The FAMER and MCI programs are on leadership, the specific specialty faculty development on clinical skills and soft skills and so on. This was the focus. They were offered in different types. They were either longitudinal fellowships, as the FAMER programs are, or short courses like the 3-day basic course, or very popular pre-conference workshops and other formats. And typically, primarily, the structure has been face-to-face. You go for a workshop, you sit in a pre-conference workshop and have a face-to-face faculty development program. Some of it is blended, especially the longer ones like the advanced course and the FAMER fellowship, which have a mix of online, but there is definite specific on-site component. We have found that to be very, very useful to build community of practice. Very few probably have been purely online. And now what has happened? So what I would like you to do is, and I will hand over to Dinesh in a second, is I'm very interested to know how has your role, has your role changed, if any? So what I would like you to do is take the poll and select one option from the list below that best describes your primary role as a faculty during COVID-19. Select only one option.
These are the results.
Thank you. Thank you, Dinesh, and thank you everyone for participating in this. As all of you can see that a faculty has all these roles: teacher, clinician, researcher, administrator, leader. But in this epoch, I asked you to choose only one, which is your primary role today in today's context. And most of you are playing the role of teacher. Some of you are still clinician, probably in the front line. So congratulations and thank you for being there, helping us out, researchers, administrators, leaders. But it all comes down to that for many of you, the primary role has been that of a teacher. So moving on, what are the roles of faculty as a teacher? I have taken this from Hardin's Amy Guide number 20. If you haven't read it, please do, because it really describes everything in details. I'm not going to discuss the details here, but all of you who are faculty teachers, which I think all of you are, with the majority in this group, primary role being that of a teacher. What Hardin described were 12 roles of a faculty as a teacher, and these 12 roles could be organized in 6 areas. One is facilitator, as an assessor, as a planner, resource developer, information provider, and a role model. And all the 12 roles are around these areas. So if you see, as a facilitator, you are a mentor as well as a facilitator for learning. As a role model, you are on the job role model as well as teaching role model. As an information provider, you are a lecturer giving them content knowledge as well as a clinical or practical teacher. As a resource developer, you have to create your resource materials, what you will share with your students. You have to produce the study guides. As a planner, There is a you have to plan the curriculum, you have to organize your course. As an assessor, you not only do you have to assess the students whether they have learned anything in your course or not, but also you have to evaluate, do program evaluation of your curriculum. And all this becomes even more relevant with the competency based medical education which MCI has rolled out, and becomes even more relevant and applicable that now you have to roll out a new curriculum in this new context of the pandemic, where things are closed and you have to teach from a distance. And all this student contact, whether you are doing face-to-face or the student is at a distance, it requires a teaching expertise and medical expertise. So keep these roles in the background as we move on. So what's happening now? We need academic adaptations. Why? The COVID-19 pandemic led to stay-at-home closures of things and online learning. When this started and I was looking up the literature, I was so fascinated that there were so many names that were being used for online learning, for online education. Online learning, digital learning, distance learning, flexible instruction days, e-student affairs, virtual learning, remote learning. And what was most surprising to me was that everyone was quarreling, literally quarreling and arguing about which is a better name than other. I will leave you to decide what you want to name your online faculty development program. However, I want to share this with you. The changes that our on-site blended programs have moved into online programs. What you call is up to you, but remember that our primary responsibility is to connect and partner with our students in quality ways, no matter the medium. And that's what we need to do now and in the future. The connection in quality ways, whether it's your undergrad, postgraduate students, or whether it's your faculty through the online faculty development programs, that does not change, whether you're doing it face-to-face or offering it online. That is the core. So I would encourage all of us to remember that as we move ahead with the academic adaptations. I will just share an example of the Global FAIMER Philadelphia Institute. Again, for those who are new, who don't know, FAIMER stands for Foundation for Advancement of International Medical Education and Research. Its offices are based in Philadelphia, and its mission has been to improve global health by improving health professions education. The first program was a fellowship in health professions education, which was started in 2001 in Philadelphia, and that's called the Global FAIMER Philadelphia Institute. Since then, there are 11 FAIMER regional institutes in the world, 4 in India, 2 in China, South Africa, Brazil, Chile, Indonesia, Egypt. I think I've got it all. And that's where we comes in the CMCL-FAIMER Regional Institute. But what I will share is about the Global FAIMER Philadelphia Institute, how we have to do academic adaptations. Again, for those, I know many of you know this, but for those who are not familiar, we offer the FAIMER Fellowship as a 2-year blended program. There is a residential component and online component. We start online with what we call a pre-institute listserv discussion. Listserv is the forum we use, online forum we use for the discussion, which is about for a month. And then the participants, who are all faculty educators, they come for 3 weeks residential in Philadelphia. That's the session 1, and that includes a 1-week overlap with the second year. Their session 2 is 11 months distance learning, where they do e-learning modules and they do their projects. They implement it in their home institution. Then they come back for 2 weeks residential in Philadelphia in session 3, where they present their projects and have additional learning opportunities, followed by a 9 months distance learning. And for the FAIMER Philadelphia Institute Fellows, we offer them something as an additional opportunity. They can enroll with the Kiel University to do a 1-year certificate program of FAIMER Kiel Masters in Health Professions Education. So that was the structure that was being followed for 20 years. Now, what was the change? Suddenly, we were getting ready for our March 2020 residential face-to-face session. It's a huge thing, having international people coming from all around the globe. And the organization ECFMG FAMER decided to cancel it, postpone it because of COVID-19. And on that time we thought, oh, is it a good decision? Is it a bad decision? But on retrospectively, yes, it was the right decision to take. So the change that we had to do was now, before us, was to change the mode of curriculum delivery. And we decided, so what we were going to do was change our blended program to a complete online program, very challenging because we do not actually have the um, means for it. We are not a totally online program. And for to offer anything online, so this is our faculty development program, which is blended. We are going to offer it online now. We need a platform. So we decided to go for the learning management system Moodle. We are using the free version. Now at FAMER, we were using another learning management system, Blackboard, which we had got from the Drexel University, but it was not ours. And we had very limited administrative thing, but there were very limited things we at FAMER could do with it. So we needed our own learning management system. Most US universities and many universities and medical schools around the world, they use learning management system, but they are expensive and they require a lot of IT support. So we decided to use Moodle, which I know that many people here are also using, and it's free. And that was the move we did. So what we had was, for our 2019 fellows, the year two, they have already finished half the program. So their year two experience would be online. They may have a residential next year in April 2021, but we don't know yet because, so many things are happening. We don't know how this pandemic will shape up, and they will still get this additional opportunity. For the 2020 fellows, both the year one and year two will be online. There will be no residential component. And we are not taking any new fellows in 2021 because we are going to celebrate our 20th anniversary of FAMER at that time. So that's our plan. So here we were. So what were the opportunities? And the opportunities were the changes that were happening. And we will discuss about the opportunities in the current context in India and all of your context. But for FAMER Philadelphia program, the opportunity was that our leadership had changed. We have a new CEO and we are doing a strategic planning. And we were already talking about using learning management system Moodle. So the leadership was supportive of using Moodle. So, everything fell in place. And also we are thinking of expanding our programs and offering it online, having new programs. So the FAMER Philadelphia Institute online program would then be a role model for developing subsequent FAMER online programs. Fortunately, we had hired an e-learning instructional designer last year. Everybody may not have it, but you don't need it because many of you are already technology savvy. We have an example from CMCL-FRI right here, Dinesh and Monika leading this, so you may not need this. And all of us had different experiences with LMS, some more than others, so that was an opportunity. And we also saw the opportunity as there is a widespread global move to online learning in medical and health profession schools. Whether we like it or we don't like it, it is there. Usually, whenever you make any changes in faculty development, the first block is attitudinal change. In some ways, the pandemic has pushed everyone to online learning. So we take it as an opportunity, and the whole thing that one has to do, work around attitudinal changes, we can actually skip that part because it is there. Nobody has a choice. You have to do it, do or die, that's it. Or your program will close. So in support of that, and with that vision, there are so many webinars that are happening right now, webinars led by FAMER alumni, and I feel so proud to be part of this CMCL-FAIMER Regional Institute. The Academy of Health Professions Educators is doing a wonderful job leading all the webinars. And again, I'm very proud to have been associated with all these. So to us, all this was opportunities, and some of it would be opportunities in your context also. But what were our challenges? As I said, we did not have, our Moodle is being developed. We don't have a program. And for offering a full course faculty development online, one needs time to develop the materials. Like you, all of us, we don't have that luxury of time. We have to develop it on the go. We have to learn by doing and work on it. Faculty will have a varying learning curve, as all of you know that. And our participants will also have a variable experience with learning management system and online learning. And interestingly, and to me, this is a very important piece, the last piece. All of you, all of us who are doing now online education, our experience primarily is as a faculty and not as a student. I really, really challenge and encourage all of you to remember that the student perspective is very different from the faculty perspective. As a faculty, we look at our online program in a certain way and we think it's great, it's clear, we have all the information, all the technology, and student will say, oh, it is so much. There is information overload, there is technology overload. So please keep on wearing the student's lens as you develop your faculty development programs. Other challenges for us was our participants. They are all educators, doctors like all of you. And many of them are in the front line fighting for COVID-19. Where is that? And even if COVID-19 was not there, they are all full-time faculty and health professionals. So they don't have any limit, no protected time for online programs. So right now also when CMCL is doing this webinar, it's in the evening. Why? Because daytime you're working. And for us specifically, a huge challenge is the time difference. We have a 14 hours time difference right across east to west. And there will be issues with internet connectivity, with electricity, and so on. Keeping all this in mind, we decided we are not changing a curriculum. You have to continue, even if you're moving on online learning, you have to continue applying the practices of good curriculum development, which means you need to have your theoretical model or learning model. This is famous, our learning, our faculty development learning model, where project provides the hinge and the experiential learning. We have our 5 curriculum themes: leadership and management, project management and evaluation, education, scholarship and research, quality assurance, and education methods that feed into the project work. And our focus of community of practice and cultural sensitivity is woven right throughout this, integrated with it. So please remember, moving online, it is important to have technology, to know about it, but remember the pitfalls of technology overload. Remember the pitfalls of going too much into online and forgetting about the good curriculum practices. So draw your curriculum, your online, the change to online from your learning model. Keep your goals and objectives aligned with it. Remember, it's a teamwork and it has to have team members and all the elements of curriculum development as you are changing. So we have a team who are designing the curriculum and we have a team who's working on evaluation. You may be the same person throughout, and that's also okay, but you cannot not use all the aspects of curriculum design. So there is curriculum design, there's evaluation, an e-learning instructional designer. It can be you, those who are good with technology actually make good e-learning instructional designer to quite an extent, and you need some administrative work, administrative support. And then there's faculty, different kinds of faculty who will teach different components of your online faculty development. They need to be involved, trained, they have to develop the materials, and there may be specific faculty for your, like for example, I know the advanced course also has projects, so you would need a project advisor. So all aspects need to be developed. So drawing from all this is what the FAIMER program, these are the principles we are using. We are going to offer a program in which the participants need to work 6 hours a week. We calculated this based on our past experiences, based on what the literature says, and based on all the challenges and how busy the schedule of our participants will be. And this has been a challenge for us, trying to make sure that from our perspective, it's 6 hours per week, and we will take feedback and see whether it matches the student perspectives. We are experimenting with flipped classroom. Probably we'll use it for some curriculum themes. We are offering it as a combination of asynchronous and synchronous. Our focus is building community. So we have decided the synchronous sessions will focus on building community. Because of the difference in time difference, and these being full-time faculty working in the COVID-19 era, we are not going to offer any content through synchronous sessions, because we know that everybody will not be able to get on the synchronous sessions every time, even if they want to. We chose a time which we thought 8 to 10 a.m. would work across all the time difference, and we restricted to 1 to 2 sessions per month. And these sessions would be about presenting their posters or their projects, and primarily discussions. Through the asynchronous, and that's why we are depending on our learning management system, Moodle, we will present all the course content. And this has to be, and I'll come to the strategies, but there will be assignments inbuilt because the student is at a distance. We don't want to lose our participants. And what we are working right now is there has to be a clear, consistent structure in whatever you use. We are using Moodle, but these are some of the things about content delivery, the quality of video presentation, should there be a uniform template, video length, layout of the Moodle, which is extremely important for online programs, because the participant has to navigate by themselves. So the clearer you are, the easier it is for the participant. Having said that, online faculty development is, one cannot do it without bringing in the successful strategies for online education. They go hand in hand. And these are the 4 which I like the most. Involve the learner. Whatever you do in your faculty development, there has to be active learning. And what online language says, all the literature says, they use the term called authentic activities. Basically, these are just activities that connect real-world relevance and content knowledge. So for example, for the FAIMER programs, all that we give them as content, they have to apply it on their projects. Similarly, for your faculty development, you would be building in something which is important and is relevant to the participant's context. So after the first step, where you involve the participant with the content and with the instructors and facilitators, the next strategy is to increase the collaboration between peers among the participants. And this is very easy face-to-face, because we are sitting right next to each other and people can talk. In online, you have to create activities to make that happen. You have to intentionally build it into your faculty development design. So for example, for our FAIMER program, we are going to actually have them talk to each other for their projects. We have inbuilt assignments and activities for that, about their posters, give feedback to each other, and in various different ways, synchronous, asynchronous, a whole list to encourage this. Once you have done that, involved them with each other, the next is they create an inviting learning environment. This is crucial for online learning. More so with the online. I guess it is important for face-to-face also. But what happens in face-to-face is, if something is not going well, you can see it. And as a facilitator, you can quickly improvise. Like for example, right now, I cannot really see you. So I don't know how you are reacting to mine. I can just assume that what I'm saying is contextual, is relevant to your need, and is of interest, and move ahead with that assumption. But while if I was doing face-to-face, I could have seen and I could have, improvised and made sure that you are engaged. So same thing will happen with online faculty development. Create an inviting learning environment. And for that, clear, consistent structure is very, very important. And what they talk about is micro-learning. It basically means don't give long videos. recognize the important themes and concepts in the topic, and give multiple short videos. 5 to 10 micro lectures is what they are. These are the terminologies that the world is using for online learning. So think about that, how you can break it up into bit-sized pieces. And very important for for faculty development, you don't have to problem traditional assignments like MCQs and essays and quizzes, which you would do for your undergraduate and postgraduate students. But this is an online faculty development. There has to be some way of inbuilt assignments, and this could be critiquing a literature, or for us, it would all be around their projects, doing something which is relevant and contextual. And do not forget reflection and revision through evaluation. A constant inbuilt evaluation is crucial. You might want to take some feedback in the early stages so that you can tweak and improve your faculty development program. Having said that, what is this online faculty development? For faculty to make a successful transition to teaching in the online classroom, they must receive professional development specifically geared towards this challenge. I have taken this from this article by Wiley and Testori, and I really like this article. They talk about a 3-tiered approach to online faculty development. For those who are really going into it, look up it. They have organized it as orientation, mentoring, and ongoing support. I'll refer to it a little bit later. But this is another article I would really encourage you to read. So now that we know that faculty have to be trained to make that transition to online classroom teaching, in the current scenario of the pandemic and all that is happening, what do you think are the opportunities for online faculty development? So what I would like you all to do is take a minute or two, reflect on it, and start sending your answers on the chat message, and Monica will collate them. And if you're ready with your answers, raise your hand. Dinesh will invite some of you to share your answers verbally, and Monica will collate the answers of rest of everybody else, and then we'll share it with everybody.
We have Dr. Madhuri Kanitkar with us. Dr. Madhuri, you can go ahead.
Hello, thank you so much. Firstly, I mean, I couldn't have, I must thank Dr. Rashmi and the FAIMER for bringing this wonderful topic today, because I'm just on the verge of looking at doing some of our military medical courses also online. So I just put up a question as to how secure is this Moodle platform, or we would have to develop our own LMS platforms.
I think we will take questions and answers later. So Monica, if you can note that, we will circle back to that. What I'm interested right now to hear from all of you is what do you think in current context are the opportunities for online faculty development?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity because you're forced to it. I mean, it is a challenge which can be converted into an opportunity for the future. So it's sometimes, you keep putting it off, but this has come at us and we should make the most of it.
Next, we have Dr. Santanu Tripathi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Rashmi. It was a great learning opportunity, first of all, from you. And then so far as the opportunities for online faculty development, particularly during this time, truly, I feel that any crisis also provide opportunities. And in this case, at least, truly what we find that we can actually the COVID situation has compelled us to remain engaged, okay? And you have all the time, okay? You are not wasting time in travel, in other things, and particularly in the current situation, so much of new knowledge, okay, being poured in, and you have so much of thanks to the technology, modern technology. Truly speaking, this also opens up a good number of research opportunities also. sharing, knowledge sharing among your colleagues, among your students. Okay, multidisciplinary discussion and multidisciplinary platforms have also been created, which otherwise, say for instance, I am a pharmacologist, clinical pharmacologist, but during this past 1.5 months, what I find that there is a lot of opportunity to also integrate with different disciplines, cross-discipline talks and exchange of ideas is also happening to a great extent. So it's not just teaching, but you have rightly pointed out the diverse roles of faculty. Okay, and here we find that we have a lot of things to really get and also give back. Okay, through this online programs. Thank you. Over.
Thank you.
We
Maybe we
have
can have just last one more and
Dr. Jyotsna Rimal.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for letting me share my views. Good evening, good morning, Rashmi ma'am. I have the opportunity which goes as because at BP Kerala Institute of Health Sciences, we have been talking about developing blended learning for quite some time. The workup is almost for 1 year now. But then because of this unavailability of the platform, it was almost impossible for us to execute the blended learning programs. Like we had developed a module on problem-based learning and even on basic educational technology, but we were struggling with the platform because it was not available. But suddenly in the institute now, the need has arisen to develop or invest. IT platform invested. Now we are doing undergraduate as well as postgraduate online learning through online learning for regular teaching learning activity. So possibility for faculty development programs now. So it is an opportunity.
Looking up to FAIMER and AMI and AHP for hosting more and more webinars, and they're also seeing opportunity for teachers, especially because there are a lot of online platforms which people are utilizing. And we also have with us Raj, who mentions that this is a great opportunity to put all the online faculty development programs together as a long-standing resource. People also find it as something which has been forced on them, but it's good because you are reaching out to a lot of people, you're flexible in time, and
have summarized all the points so well is the institute priority. Many of you were trying to get stuff online, was the priority of the institute. You did not get the support and the resources you needed to do so from your institute, from your medical school. But now y'all are seeing it as research opportunity. And honestly, nobody has really done evaluation and research in this as much as, so many new programs are coming up. If you can design it around evaluation and research for your online faculty development programs and then extend it to the undergraduate and Southeast Asia, from this part of the world, it would be an amazing contribution to the field. Hearing about various webinars that credible organizations that people are looking forward to and find it. The link is here. Some of you may have attended some of the webinars, but all of them are available. So look up the top, whatever is the area you are working in, please do listen. And of course, academics. So here is a list of the recent webinars. Take a look. If something is of interest, online national workshops to be held. If you're interested to hear more about this, please connect with Monika and Dinesh, and they can provide you information if this is something you think is of interest and of value to you. So there is a whole lot of resources which you can use as webinars, but I really encourage you to, as you're going through this and improving your own learning, plan on seeing this as developing resources, long-term resources, and doing evaluation and research and publishing papers in this. Having said that, looked at the opportunities. Okay, you have all these opportunities. The pandemic has put us on the threshold of doing online learning. It's like we have been thrown into the water, swim or die. We must do it. What are the components of effective online faculty development literature about this. But what I'm sharing with you is something, again, from Faculty Focus. I find this newsletter wonderful. It is very contextual and relevant. And these 5 components are that of Columbia Southern University, which is a fully online institution. So their experience surpasses what many of us have our experience. And I'll just go through this because it is applicable to all of us, how an effective online faculty development should be. The 5 components of a successful online faculty development. The first is orientation of faculty. They use the term new faculty, but for us, all of us are new faculty. So, to get acclimatized to the online classroom, which would mean the learning management system, Moodle, or anything else, any other platforms that you're using. People have mentioned WebEx and other things that they are using. And very important, learn the online format from the perspectives of a student. I just cannot overemphasize this or emphasize this enough. It is very important, and I should know because currently I am doing some courses with UIC, University of Illinois, Chicago. So I get the student perspective also. Believe me, all I'm looking at is what is it that I have to do exactly. Very simple, few things, no over technology, no over information. And this is crucial for a good faculty development program, which then you will apply to any of your undergraduate and postgraduate online program. The second is teach the teacher training, which basically means you have to teach your faculty how to teach in online programs. It's as simple as that. And teach the teacher training model. India has very good models through FAIMER, the MCI courses. You use those models and adapt it to your online faculty development. The third is quality assurance, online classroom observations, very important to keep on providing mentoring to the faculty who are doing. And we can be mentors to each other, and we can really help and learn and grow and support each other so that our learning curve goes fast and we learn quickly and offer the most effective online programs. Faculty development webinars already happening as essential resources for new faculty, refresher for seasoned faculty. And each time, whether I participate in a webinar or I take one, I really learn tremendously and my learning curve goes up. So I encourage all of you to continue doing what you're doing. But in all this, make sure that the faculty are able to complete all the professional development that is required for them to grow as faculty in all their various roles. So I had mentioned another paper to you earlier, and I have combined those 2 papers. So all the components actually can be organized in the 3 areas. First is orientation. Second is about mentoring. And third is providing continuous ongoing support. So that would be a good online faculty development program. But remember, it goes hand in hand with the key strategies for successful online education. And just to quickly remind us of what those are: involve the learner with the content and with the instructor. Number 2, involve the learners with each other. Number 3, creating inviting learning environment. You have to use some platform, whatever you use. The learning environment has to be very easy for the student to navigate. And 4th, evaluation. I've already heard you all talking about using this as a research opportunity for scholarship, publication, contribution to the field. Now is your time. Whatever faculty development you're planning online, plan your evaluation so that you can write up about it. And whatever you apply to your online undergraduate, postgraduate education, plan an evaluation of the online program. So we talked about the opportunities. We saw what the components and strategies should be. But then, are we able to apply all those components and strategies? What are the challenges? And I'd like you to take a minute or 2 to reflect on this. What are the challenges for online faculty development in COVID-19? But there is a caveat here. I would also like you to give suggestions for addressing those challenges. So you have give one challenge and 1 to 2 challenges, and your solutions for addressing the challenges. Take a minute or two to do this.
First is Joya Ghosh.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah.
Sir, one of the challenges that we are really facing in my institute, it's a central government institute, all right, but recently it has been converted to COVID-19 hospital by the state government. Now, given that, we are really finding it difficult for this online, conducting the online curriculum with the students. I'm not talking about the faculty development as such even now, because most of the clinicians are finding it really tough, handling the patients and all the logistics. So, I mean, I have a feeling like even for taking up the students, it is becoming difficult for I'm a first year faculty and from Department of Biochemistry. So I think we still have the luxury of dealing with the students, but uh, I'm really not sure how the clinical departments are handling it, because um, that is a very big challenge, I feel. And so in that scenario, to develop the faculty, at least in my institute, looks really tough. I mean, of course, apart from that, there are other issues like, connectivity and internet. Uh, the institute taking, I remember in the first of the seminars that was being taken, you had talked about Google G Suite. Ma'am had talked about G Suite, and the institute has to take that. So in the whole scenario, I think they haven't even, opted for that. So we cannot utilize that system also. So at this point of time, I think that is becoming real challenging.
Thank you. Monika, could you summarize what are the challenges?
Okay, so I see here that majority of people find internet connectivity as a big challenge, especially bandwidth. And because now most of the students have been asked to go home, there are students who are in remote areas and they don't have net connectivity. The second major challenge seems to be faculty themselves. A lot of faculty are not updated about the e-learning tools. Then faculty are resisting. Many of them, in spite of receiving instructions from the colleges, have not yet shifted to the e-learning mode, and people are concerned about converting their teaching material into an online platform. Some of them think that making them unidirectional webinars loses the interactivity and probably it loses the beauty of the standard lectures. That is what most people believe in. One of the things somebody recently has mentioned, that they are not satisfied with the online platform. Many of them are not aware of what are the platforms available. Many are paid versions. Free versions don't have so much of flexibility. So those are some of the challenges most of the people are talking about here.
We can take Rashmi. One person more is there. VSS Ramavatram.
Good evening, madam. The challenge is how to make the teachers to conduct the interactive sessions. Because in the regular classes, students don't ask the questions. In the online, students are very much eager to ask the questions. Then how the teacher has to deal with that aspect. So that sort of interactive attitude teachers have to be developed through the faculty development program, because online real interactive sessions can be conducted. Students are very much have the courage to ask the questions to the teacher.
Thank you very much. And I was hoping that y'all will give solutions also, but we'll come back to that. So based on what I've heard, I was taking notes on my phone. All the challenges are around four main areas. First is the time commitment, time management, with many clinicians being on the front line and hospitals being COVID-19 hospitals, that takes priority over online education. The second I hear is faculty resistance, and that is very, very normal, because faculty do have variability in their experience and expertise for using online learning. The third I hear is internet connectivity, and it's a very real challenge. And the fourth is how do you make the sessions interactive? So Dinesh and Monika, I can see a whole another set of webinar about how do you do it, how do you actually deliver online education. So that would be a whole different series. But you know what? Let me try and connect it with what I have drawn from the literature and see whether we can find some answers to the challenges you have raised from what other people have done. I have put them as common problems and some solutions. So first is the adaptability struggle. And it is true for both students and faculty. And to me, that is part of the faculty resistance because they don't know, they have certain concerns which may be valid, which may not be valid. But somebody has to, you as a person who's going to lead faculty to build to address the adaptability struggle in the online faculty development program. List down all the concerns and address it. You may not have answers to all the concerns, but even if you're able to acknowledge them, I think in some ways it helps an attitudinal change. So to me, that would be an answer. The second is about internet connectivity, and that probably would come under technical issues. Let me ask you, what can we do if the internet connectivity is a problem for the students? Anybody has thoughts on that?
Something, Dr. Ravinder Inamdar.
There can be a pre-recorded lecture which can be sent to the student. Recorded lecture as a backup plan.
Right.
And absolutely. And actually, for our FAIMER program, that is our primary challenge, internet connectivity for our participants. So that's one reason we are not presenting any content synchronously. One, all the content is asynchronous. But if they're not even able to get into your learning platform, then what do? Sending them recorded video, recorded lectures, which you would have put up on your platform for asynchronous viewing. You send it to them by other means. It could be a link by their emails, or we have even talked about putting all the content materials in a flash drive and mailing it to them by post. So there are different ways. And where there are internet connectivity and electricity issues, one has to have backup plans. How will you get the content to the student? And sometimes we may not even have to give the content. You may just have to guide them through their books. Medical students, the information is in their books, honestly. So this is there. Any other suggestion? Because technical issues is a real challenge.
Some responses on the chat.
Yeah, most of the responses were mentioning about use of asynchronous methods, recording of lectures, maybe using mobile phones and WhatsApp instead of having a platform for online interactivity.
Actually, this is very interesting because in China, we have two FAIMER regional institutes, and they have their e-learning discussions, which is part of the program, not through your regular online platforms. They use their WeChat, which is equivalent to our WhatsApp, for their e-learning discussions. So one can be innovative and creative and address these technical issues in various ways. So continue thinking. Yes, these are very important issues. Then there is a whole thing about computer literacy. To me, this comes under faculty resistance. Many faculty and students will have varying length of computer literacy. One has to hold their hands, walk them through, and as educators leading the faculty development, that job is yours, honestly. Provide training, orientations of what you want to do. Next is time management. Now, what do? So we have, there are two ways: time management for the participants, and for them, I've already talked about providing bite-sized chunks, small pieces of information so that they can navigate through it and handle it. So that's an easy bit. That's how you produce your materials. The more challenging is what was raised just now. What shall we do when the clinical faculty are very busy? How can we handle this? Any suggestions?
One of the comments is to work on the time management and reassign duties, reassign lecture time to maybe evening. I suppose a suggestion is about when the bandwidth is better, so you could shift the lectures to that time.
Okay, thank you. But then if somebody is busy with their with the clinical work managing COVID-19, are they expected to teach also? That is my question. And if yes, how? And what can be done to provide online education to the students? I think these are questions for another webinar. Something, Dinesh, which you all might consider really exploring, because these are real challenges people are facing right now. So I don't have an answer now for faculty development. I can tell you about faculty development and what we can do for that. But really talking about how to deliver online education, but Dinesh, you're saying something?
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
When we talk of faculty being busy in COVID, what we have been doing in CMC is that it's not as if 100% staff is working. So everybody is working part-time. There are people who are at home, and then there are people who are coming to the hospital. So clinical work and teaching can be divided amongst faculty. It's not as if everybody is assigned to the COVID ward. We don't want everybody to be exposed to COVID. So there are reserve faculty who are not going into the COVID wards. They can take up the teaching part.
So there you are. So it's the way the system is organized. I think that is important. That's what I'm hearing Monika say. For time management, bite-sized chunks for the participants, and organizing the system. So teaching and clinical work, both there is time for both, but that goes on the organizational development of the hospitals. I think that's a very good suggestion if it is applicable. I don't know if it's applicable to all the medical schools. One biggest challenge is connectivity, but all that is due to self-motivation. And there are a whole list of things one can do to motivate in online learning. Topic is relevant, make the course engaging, have regular feedback, use real-world scenarios, use something called regular office hours. So whoever is teaching is available at a specific time so that students and participants can come in and talk to you, and you can clarify their doubts and concepts. That's office hours. Use discussion boards meaningfully for meaningful discussion. So, that will again take care of busy clinicians, because if a student has a question on a discussion board, the busy clinician can see when, they have their off time and respond. And encouraging collaborative activities. And these two is something which I really, really want you all to say. Do not overload technology. Do not use too many technologies. Use this also and that also. Please don't do it. It only confuses people and the course is not clear. Second is, do not give information overload. So to summarize, for successful online faculty development in this COVID-19 areas, use the components of online faculty development as best as you can in your context. Definitely apply the strategies for online education to create your online faculty development, because that will then inform how you create your online undergraduate and postgraduate education. Leverage the opportunities. Make it research opportunities, make it opportunity for resource. The institutions have made it their priority. So now is the time to get your learning management system, use it. Please avoid technology and information overload. Do not use too much of technology. Do not give too much of information. Recognize the challenges as all of you are doing. Talk to each other, have conversations to build and to find the solutions and build those solutions to address those challenges. So all of you out there who are doing online faculty development programs or going to do it, all the best to you for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. So most of us has gone through all the basics things, and there was a lot of questions coming on this. We thought we will just spend 2 minutes on that. That in most of the faculty development programs, we have a format like we have a large group. Most of the programs right now, Rashmi, being done in India, have a group size of 16 to 55. And in most of them, we are using a small group work, dividing in into, and then going for a large group presentation. So for example, Zoom has a option of breakout rooms in the meetings, not in the webinars. WebEx has breakout sessions. Hangout has an indirect method. And you can also innovate on other platforms how to break them into groups. For example, if you go into the Zoom, in the settings, you have to switch it on, breakout rooms. By default, it is off. So you will not see that sign there. When you switch it on, you see this sign, breakout rooms. It's very easy. Just you click on this, you get room options, and you can select up to 20 rooms. So if most of the faculty development program have 16 to 55, so you can use 5 to 8 rooms based on that. And then you can assign the large group going into small groups like this. The assignment can be automatic or manual if you want to use otherwise, and you can make it a time bound also, breaking for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and they regroup in large group. Everything happens in the system automatically. And we have used this technology in our faculty development program online, which we have done in the last 1 month for training of the faculty for conducting online FD sessions. So all the faculty you see who are conducting webinars for the first time, we trained them. And all the core faculty of FAIMER Regional Institute and ACME, that is advanced course, we trained in 3 sessions. Each session was 90 minutes. So sometimes they will go into as a participant role, sometimes as a host, co-host, small group, large group. So we have done that, and it's doable in those. And remember that when you do this, as I told you, you have many options. When to move them out of the rooms and into the rooms, you can assign the names also to the rooms, like Asia rooms and other rooms. So when you assign names and you have many options, and in those options, you can assign people by name or automatically. After when you assign, click on the name. This is the screen you see, the host sees, and this is the participant. If you are participant on that day, you will be asked, do you want to use Asia room? You join that, click on that, you go into that Asia room. And you can leave anytime based on whenever you are all instructed. Same the instructions can be passed for all the rooms together. And you can have, for example, in this, we planned 5 members, and you can add a facilitator also in each room. And then later on, you can return to the main session. So a lot of faculty development programs are using small group discussion, breaking out, and that we can continue using that. Thank you so much. So as you see, today is the 6th webinar of the first series of CMCL-FAIMER webinars. And we have, if you see, kept this best one, faculty development, which everyone needs at the end of the first series. Next series will be based on what questions you have asked. A lot of relevance you have asked for that. So that demand-based or relevant things. So I think, Rashmi, we conclude with that. You want to add something, or Monika?
No, I just thank you very much. I have come out with so many ideas, and I think in the what is very important is to continue having the conversations, raising the concerns and questions, and find solutions together and support each other in learning together. But I also want to say just one thing, that online learning is great. We are all talking about how good it is, but we have to be real. No, nothing is perfect. There are some challenges in online learning which will stay even if you provide the best program. We must recognize that and move ahead. So thank you very much. I have learned a lot, and all the best to all of you. Thank you, Dinesh and Monika.
Thank you so much, all the panelists. Actually, we wanted to sort of replicate this model of online faculty development. Actually, for these webinars, we have used that to train people how to conduct through this one. And we were not able to, as the situation is there, physically you can't do anything. So everyone has been trained online for conducting these sessions, faculty development. So even the trainers are being trained by live. So it means you can also replicate these sessions for that. Okay, thank you so much, Rashmi. Thank you so much, Monika, and all the audience which have been there with us for more than 1.5 hours now. Thank you so much.